Welcome, welcome. It's time again for another Black Belt Newscast live. Yeah. I'm Cindy Fisher, publisher.
I'm Todd Prater, staff writer.
All right, we're in Marengo County and Dallas County this week.
Yeah.
Throughout the Black Belt as we come to you guys with all the top headlines of what's going on in our community and our region of 6 counties that we cover for the Black Belt News Network. And all of our stories that we talk about today are at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and selmasun.com. And we're going to add real quick here at the beginning that, hey, Black Belt News Network, we got selected for a $100,000 national grant that was announced this week. Yay!
That is awesome. That's big news right there.
Yes, big news. This is a national grant that is a pooled fund of $20 million. They had 900 applicants, actually more than that, and selected 205 to win this, and we were one of those.
Wow, and that's nationwide.
Nationwide. So what our goal, and all of the ones that responded or applied have to be under $1 million for your budget, which we're well in that.
We hope one day, maybe.
Well, the dream is that we cover the rural communities of the Black Belt. We hope to do it in an urban kind of way, right? We're just trying to do what everybody else does, and we know we're all an hour apart. And we are hoping to use this funding to get more reporters, or I call them documenters. You may not be a reporter necessarily, but you attend events, right? You go to the football games. You might go to council meetings. Be one of our documenters. Email me at news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and let me know if you're interested in being one of our documenters. We can now afford to pay you to help us.
That's awesome.
And really excited because what it does is it helps us expand out into our communities even more than ever before. Wilcox, Marengo, Dallas, Perry, and Lowndes, Montgomery. We are really trying to get into all of our communities even deeper than we already are. Sign up for our daily newsletter. This is where you get the headlines, including that we got our $100,000 grant that comes out at 3 o'clock every day. And I get a lot of people that say this is how they get informed.
Hey, I've said it before. A lot of times you're working on something, and the couple other folks we have with us working on something. I don't see everything y'all are working on. That headline that I get in the email lets me know what else is going on.
Of your community too. So sign up.
It helps tremendously.
So yes, we're very excited to announce, and the grant really is. It's just a validation that what we're doing here for you guys is worth it.
Right.
And we can't sustain forever. It will not sustain us forever. So we do take donations now, and we'll talk about that later in the broadcast. But we want to be able to keep our content free. That's super important. You're not going to hit a paywall when you come to our website. Everybody deserves to know what's going on in their community. All right. Speaking of that, let's find out what our top headlines are for this week.
All right.
Let's start in Demopolis.
Yeah.
I went to the council meeting last night. Todd's been to a few of these meetings too. We've been having a lot of public hearings about the apartments or the old school that there is a proposal to turn it into apartments. But that proposal failed last night. They were trying to rezone the land to allow for multifamily and apartments. And that failed last night. And it was a 3-3 vote, which when you get a tie like that, it means it doesn't pass.
Right.
So the residents that didn't want this were worried about it being low-income housing, for dragging down the resale value, the value of their homes. And there was a proposal from the Marengo County Historical Society to do an art center there. And that I talked to Kirk Brooker after the measure failed for the apartments, and he said that they actually have a lot going on behind the scenes of pledges for donations so that they can afford to upgrade this building, a historic building, and keep it as an art center, and for the theater that's in the basement and it uses the auditorium. So they said the committee is actually ready to meet next week and get started. So check out blackbucknewsnetwork.com for the full story with the comments from everybody and kind of how the vote went. And I covered that last night, posted it last night as well. So that is the latest and greatest with the old school public hearings.
Yeah, so and then we'll be following that because that obviously that's just one hurdle. There's still a long way to go.
Right. They still have to rezone it for the art center too.
Right.
So
they still have a lot.
And
money
Mayor Woody Collins said that it's a $6 to $8 million fix on this building. Right. So they're going to have a lot of money to raise in order to get it to that. Now the city owns it, but they don't want to own it anymore. And the plan was to sell it to the developer, but this art center plan actually includes not selling it, and keeping it within the city. So we'll see how that continues. We'll be your go-to news source to let you know what else is going on in that in the future. All right, there is a litter battle that has been going on in Dallas County. Tell us about that, Todd.
Well, we have covered it before about Dallas County out in the county areas, but right now there's a problem right here in the city of Selma, where I'm actually not in Selma right now, but in Selma, which is right down the road from me. That right there is Race Street. And there had been a suggestion or a proposal that the county and the city work together, and the city help provide both equipment and people, and they would work with the county to clean up these sites that are continuously being dumped upon by city residents. And then they would also enforce the ordinances to prevent that from happening. However, the city, the mayor's office, and the council have not come together on an agreement as to exactly what to do. And because of that, the county has stepped back and said, until the city branches of government can come together, we're not gonna mess with it. We're not gonna touch it. So the county is now taking care of their own. However, the question now is, and a number of citizens have expressed concern, and actually we've had a citizen reach out to let us know where these sites are. The question now is, what is the city going to do about these sites that are getting bigger and are draining into our water table? Because even if you clean up out in the county, this is in the city. That particular spot right there is not far from the Alabama River. And when it rains, that washes into a stream that empties completely into the directly into the river. So, and plus it goes into the water table. This is a health concern, and that's what the citizens' concern is. How's it affecting where the kids play? Because some of the places in the city are in lots that kids play on, and they're just piled with garbage bags.
That was a continuous video, was it not? That was not a loop. That was
that was a continuous. I drove down the street. That is Race Street. I drove down the street, and that's from one end of it to the other.
So the proposal for the city was looking at giving $300,000 to work with the county, but the county, through Jimmy Nunn, who's the commission chair and also probate judge, had said he got a letter from the mayor saying, I don't support using that $300,000. The mayor is saying they want that $300,000 to go to code enforcement and the police department and let them do it internally.
Yeah.
But the council would like that money to go to the county because the county is actually eligible for ADEM, the Alabama Department of Environmental Management, for grants through them that the city is not eligible for. So the money could go to help on a broader scale than just.
It would be a lot more work than.
I know one thing: the city says a lot that they don't have enough employees. So
right, and see that, and that's where the ADEM grant would help. Because all that money could be pulled together to help, well, not literally pulled, but
more people,
the money could be used.
Contractors to clean it up.
Right, exactly. And the city is limited, but if they would contract or if they would work with the county, then their resources are in effect expanded, and they could do a lot more with what they have to work with. But we'll just have to see how that works out as well. Because
it's another case of the battle between the mayor and the council getting in the way of potential progress.
Yeah, so we just have to see how that's going to pan out, because that stuff has to get cleaned up.
That's pretty bad. Did you see all the mattresses?
Yeah, and that's just one spot.
Screens.
I was pointed to a number of other places too. That's just one spot.
That's just one
but
spot.
That's a continuing story that we're working on. So
right.
Stay tuned, as they say.
That's right. So we actually had a really great opportunity from one of our documenters sent us a video that we wanted to share because Terry Sewell, our representative congresswoman, was in town in Selma on Thursday to present 2 different sets of money. Second week in a row for her to be here for this. Yeah. One of them is for electric buses for the city of Selma and the schools. So let's hear what they're planning to do with it.
Hi, we are here at Selma High School, and Congresswoman, United States Congresswoman Terry Sewell has just left the building, and we are here. We got this fabulous truck, and Mr. Peterson, head of transportation at Selma High School and Selma City Schools, I do believe. Tell us why we're here today.
Yes, ma'am. Our school district, Selma City Schools, got awarded a $1,750,000 grant, clean energy electric school bus grant through the Environmental Protection Agency, and also through President Biden and Harris administration to replace 5 diesel buses with 5 electric school buses. Fairfield City Schools actually introduced me to that idea, that concept, and made the contact. Introduced me to Lions Electric, who is the manufacturer of buses. And Lions assist me in my team in actually completing the federal grant necessary to get the funding through the EPA.
And so that is really cool. We've actually reported on a couple of times about the electric buses. From what I've been told before, they're keeping the diesel ones for long distance trips.
Right.
And the electrics will be for the in-town. But that was one of the grants that she was here to announce. The other was about lead pipe replacing
the lead pipes, exactly.
And so we'll have more on that at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. All right, let's switch over to Craig Field. Tell us what's going on over at Craig Field.
You know, Cindy, a lot of folks don't realize some of the wonderful things. We have to talk about the negative news. We really like to talk about the positive news. Craig Field in Selma is becoming a hub for military tactical training. That is a Selma FBO that's been renovated and updated by the folks at Resicom, who's running it. And Resicom has not only renovated that FBO, but a number of buildings on the Craig Field. That is Black Hawk helicopters that were taking paratrooper trainees from London, England, to jump out of the helicopters at Craig Field. That's them coming down after the helicopters took them up to, I think it was right at 20,000 feet. And they were training how to jump out of the helicopter properly in different conditions. And I got to go out there and watch that. And of course, I love airports, and being out there was just so exciting. And seeing this training, not only is Craig Field training in things like that's the paratrooper coming in. They actually repacked the parachutes in the FBO, and then they all went back up and did it again later in the afternoon. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to stay for that part of it, but that's the guys, and all of them, they're from London. This is the first of a number of international training that will happen here. And it was funny because the man I talked to, that's the gun range. Not only is it tactical training for military, but they're starting to extend it to first responders. That tower there made out of shipping containers is so that when you're on a battlefield, you don't know what angle, how high or low, what angle. That is to practice different angles and different things. It's an amazing thing going on. I'm going to have a story about it in the next edition, and of course on Black Belt News Network and SelmaSun.com. But it's really some exciting things going on at Craig Field that in the last year, Resicom, as they've taken over, has instituted. They're also working with Vaden Field over in Perry County. And they said they're also going to be working with the Demopolis Airport. So there's a lot going on in the aviation world in this area. And some of it is right there in Dallas County in Selma. And, I mean, people from all over the world are going to be coming and are coming to Selma to train for military tactical. Some of the stuff that they train them on, and I'm going to have his full name. It's a Greek name. that is almost impossible. It's kind of like if you're a Trekker, you'll know you can't say Spock's name because Vulcan names are hard to say. Well, Greek names are too. And so he said, everybody just calls me V. But he's super nice guy. And get this, he's a Special Forces Green Beret veteran, highly trained, and he's running our airport. And he's running this tactical school. It's like, wow, how cool can you get? But it's just some really exciting things happening out at Craig Field. So I can't wait to get out and do more about it. But and that's just a little bit that we got right now. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
All right. Well, let's switch over to, we had a story last week on Craig Field as well, and some of the funding that they're getting to repair and repave the taxiways. So check that out.
Right, exactly, yeah.
All right. Wild Game Cookoff was last night.
Yeah, it was last night, our annual Wild Game Cookoff, and it was packed. That is early in the evening, and oops, and they held it right outside of Arts Revive. But you see, this is like maybe 45 minutes after the gates open, it's already packed. That is the Hancock Barbecue setup.
Wow.
They won the presentation, obviously. Look at that little booth they had set up.
That's awesome. They
also had an awesome seafood Reuben that won an award. There's the man himself, Tim Wood. He's passing out deer chili. That right there is the silent auction that's inside Arts Revive that goes along. And the whole thing is a fundraiser for the Alabama Wildlife Federation. That is your overall winners right there. TW Dream Team, excuse me. They will be representing Selma in August in the state championships over at Lanark Center in Millbrook, where the AWF, the Alabama Wildlife Federation, has their headquarters. So congratulations to them for their overall winner. They had it was called the Bird and Greens, and it was fantastic. I can't remember what kind of bird it was though.
Oh, I love wild game. I have turkey, or I have deer meat that I cook all year round.
That's some good stuff. But you know what I did this year, Cindy, is I recorded the complete award ceremony. Now I'm going to edit it for time, but we will post it on our Black Belt Network outdoors.
All right, winners can see themselves.
So you can see all the winners, and I'll have some more of that video so you can see some of the other things that went on as well. So that's coming probably about tomorrow afternoon at the latest.
Well, that's one of my favorite events every year.
Yeah, no, me too.
I get good ideas of what you can make with wild games.
Oh, fantastic. And I want to thank not only Tim Wood for starting it, but for Davis Henry, who's picking up where Tim Wood left, because Tim, God bless you, Tim is about to become the president of AWF. So Davis Henry of Henry Brick is taking over running the Wild Game Cookoff. And, of course, Tim Gothard, who we have an interview with him over on the Black Belt Outdoors, who runs the AWF. He's the executive director, and he's a wonderful person. He was there. So thanks to him for letting us even do it here in Selma.
Well, while that was a Thursday night event, we actually have a lot coming up this weekend. Tell us about the Selma Rising Mural Fest.
There's going to be an amazing event tomorrow, Saturday, from 9 to 4. Trey Taylor and Helene Taylor, our local artists, are sponsoring and hosting a mural painting event. Trey, I actually caught up with him outside of Afrier's place yesterday, and he introduced to us, the 3 visiting mural artists. So here's Trey Taylor. Tell us about it.
So my name's Trey Taylor. We're having a mural festival this weekend. We've invited 3 artists from Columbus. Here are the 3, Columbus, Ohio. Thank you. And I'm just going to quickly introduce them and then let them just say something about why they're here.
Sure.
Okay, so this is Lance. Lance, you want to say something?
How's it going? My name is Lance Johnson. I'm honored to be here. I feel like this is sacred land, and I'm looking forward to connecting with the community and connecting through art, which is universal. So I'm super excited to be here.
Great. This is April.
Hello, April Tsunami. Also super grateful to be here. Just really enjoying Selma so far and really enjoying this beautiful, vibrant art scene that's blossoming here. So glad to be here.
And this is Duarte.
How you doing? My name is Richard Duarte Brown, and Richard Duarte Brown, that's a little bit of background noise. I just want you to know we're excited to be working with the young people, and we're excited to do this mural with you.
So Trey, tell us one more time what's going to go on Saturday
Okay.
in your building right behind us.
Right. So it's at Phoenix Park, right across the street from the St. James Hotel here on Water. And it's going to run from 9 to 6. We're inviting people from Selma to come out and help paint. We've got 8 mural boards, 8 by 12 feet wide. And the reason why we're doing 8 is each board represents the 8 different wards. So these artists are going to be the lead artists. They have some ideas, but they want the community to come in and help make something beautiful for our community. And then they'll stay in the park for a year, and then we'll do it all over again. And these will be moved out into the different wards around town.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Well, that's really exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I said in the building, I meant next to the building with your mural on it. So the building behind us, the park, if you're not familiar with Phoenix Park, is on the other side of that building, right across from St. James, and everybody's invited to come paint.
And yeah, we'll be there. I know that Rotary's got a few people, and Interact Club from Morgan Academy will be there. I know there's going to be a lot of great people there. So
Yeah.
and I'm going to also be at Selma, the Get Fit Selma, which is a 5K race in the morning and then a healthcare fair throughout the day with different booths and activities. So I'm really looking forward to that because it's so important for so many parts of our community to hear about the different resources that you've got in the healthcare community and options. So that's also happening. And that's at McRae Gaines on Woodrow.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
And don't forget tomorrow night is the Haunted History Tour out at Okahaba Archaeological Park. And the first one starts at 7. They go until the last one's at 9. And it's this Saturday and next Saturday. 872-8058 is the phone number if you need to get tickets. But if you have not been to, it's the only time you can go at night to Okahaba. And then we got a video up about it right now, so that's enough said. Go watch the video and enjoy it because there's some really cool things to see in the video, and they explain a lot more too.
Okay, great. We have football is again tonight. There's a bunch of homecoming games.
Yeah,
Selma's homecoming, Southside's homecoming, Keith High School's homecoming. Dallas County is just all homecoming, all tonight.
Yeah.
Very exciting night in the world of community gathering and high school football.
Yeah.
All right, Black Belt Roundup. I've got some really great stories. Okay, go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. I have the screen. Let me share the screen with you guys. We have the Christmas on the River.
Oh, yeah.
Pageant, and it shows the winners of the pageant. So, and those winners will get to be on floats during the parade that's coming up. So that is really exciting. This is our page right here at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. Terry Sewell presenting her checks. That story is up here. There's also a really great story about legislators that came to Gee's Bend in Wilcox County for the airing of the Quilts Festival. It was such a beautiful day.
Yeah.
And it's a good example of like what the Black Belt looks like, how our culture. So that was a very exciting event. And also some news about the Thomasville Hospital, which it closed several weeks ago because they couldn't pay staff. So it's been closed for about 3 weeks, and it is now under a receivership. And that is because they have a $35 million loan that they are defaulted on. And this receivership is going to help them decide what.
Uh-oh. You gone digital on it there a little bit, Sandy.
With Pat, that's Clark County. We also have a story about Church Street Methodist. Uh-oh. Can you see me?
Yeah, see you. You're going digital on us, though.
Okay.
Oh, we hear you now.
Okay. So the
I think we may have lost Cindy's audio. Cindy, you back with us?
Methodist Church in Selma is trying to. I think.
I think you are too. There you go. Yeah. So we got to work on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Methodist Church is suing to keep the ownership of their land.
Yeah, you may have disappeared from us again there, but the stories on blackbeltnewsnetwork.com about the local Methodist Church in Selma suing for ownership because they want to own the land. That story's on blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. Cindy, you with us back yet? We have a number of other stories on blackbeltnewsnetwork.com that you might want to check out. There's information, again, like we said, about the Haunted History Tour. The Selma Area Food Bank is collecting food items for hurricane victims. We have an interview with Jeff Harrison about that. And, of course, just about anything that you need to know about the Black Belt is on blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. I'm looking at it right now, and, oh, yeah. So be sure to check that out, selmasun.com as well. And don't forget, get it checked out. Check us out. You back with us? I see you moving.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. There you are.
Okay. One of my goals is to get Starlink.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So that when we do our newscast, we don't have this kind of problem. Maybe that's the next grant that I need to apply for. What do you think?
That sounds like a good idea. I tell you another thing too. We need to start researching to see why we can't get better internet service in the Black Belt. I know there's been some work on that, but here's a prime example why we need it. And you go. Yeah. Internet in the Black Belt. You back yet? See, it wouldn't be so bad if you got all the controls on your end. So I can't take over. Yeah, there you are. Hey, you're coming back. Kind of reminds me of the old Max Headroom in the 80s.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I think we covered everything anyway, didn't we, Cindy? Except we do need to say thanks to our sponsors. You there? She's coming back. She's coming. She comes. Yeah, well, I tell you what, Cindy, I think her internet is pretty much gone out. Don't forget to check out our on blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. We have a button for donations. We now are a nonprofit and can accept donations. So we're asking everybody, although we've got these grants that are going to be